meeting to order. Let's find the agenda. All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order. This is a meeting of the Board of Selectmen on September 6, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. It's a regular meeting, and the first item on our agenda is pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes. It was last Tuesday, or last Monday, right?
It was, well, there's three sets. You have August 1st, the 5th, and the 29th. Yeah, I wanted you the 29th.
August, the 1st, I don't think.
Well, actually, I have an edit under the 1st and the 5th.
We didn't approve from last week because it was a special meeting, so we have the minutes before, plus we had last. Okay. In August 1st, we didn't approve.
No, because you didn't meet regularly. The 5th was a special meeting, the 29th was special.
Okay, all right, well, then let's start with the first. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of August 1st meeting.
Okay, I have an edit on that one. Page 5, this is per Lisa Madden. Page 5 should say tax deferment request. Second paragraph, third sentence, removed with taxes being current. The sentence should now read, the town will not lose any interest, for it will be paid at the time of sale or refinance.
Okay. So you made a motion?
To accept, yeah, the
Yeah.
minutes of,
Do you want to second it?
I'll second it.
And then I guess we just sort of jumped the gun on discussing, but there's that edit. Anything else?
I don't have anything.
We good? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, then we got the August 5th.
oh, that was a Friday, huh? Oh,
I have an
right.
edit on that one.
Now I remember. You have an edit on that
Did
one?
it, give me an edit on that one too.
All right, wow. I make a motion that we accept the minutes from August 5th.
Do a second?
I'll second.
Did you say you had something?
Yep, the middle of the page, it says, under the list of financial companies who we sought bids from, the sentence should read, we received no response from CalFirst, Alliance Funding, Key Government, and First Niagara, period. Tax exempt leasing corp felt a 7-year lease is too long of a term.
Okay. So they declined the bid. Okay. So we'll add that change. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then I make a motion that we accept the minutes of August 29th.
And I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we're all caught up. Well, no, we're not.
Except
Oh,
With the joint meetings?
June 13th, 11th on that.
I know.
Yeah, I have it on, I have all my edits ready to go, if you guys just wanna do it.
Wait, June 13th?
That's the
Yeah, that's a joint meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joint
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah, that's, okay.
I think the other groups have all had ample opportunity to make any,
And they did,
and they did.
yep, I have everybody's edits here.
Okay.
Dave Shriver, I see that one. And then the
I
wetlands.
got Andy Marco, Ted Skatowski, Dave Schreiber, Jeff Prusak, and John Washington's 3 pages.
Oh my goodness.
I'll make a motion that we accept them with the, do we want to read all the,
Well, I actually have them in, I added them into the minutes when they come out. It's up to, you're gonna be here a while, because there's a lot. Like Tess's is a half a page, Dave Schreiber's is a half a page. Yours is 3 pages. That's a page. It's up to you guys.
They
I'm not
emailed
sure.
us all their changes
They
now
did.
anyways.
They did.
We all received emails that they wanted, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think to hear them again, but.
Alright, I mean, they'll go in the minutes. They're gonna go in these minutes. mean, I cut and pasted.
You wanna hear them, John?
No. I think so, as long as everybody has an opportunity to read them.
Yeah.
It's June 13th, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the minutes of June 13th joint meeting between the Board of Selectmen, Planning and Zoning, and Inland Wetlands, and Board of Finance, with the amendments that they would have.
Were suggested by all the boards. Okay, wait, so you made the motion, did you want to second it?
I second
All
it.
right, and then any more discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we need to get the next meeting scheduled of that group.
I put it back to me.
You said Paul, we're here. Okay, that's it, no more minutes, okay. Present to speak, anybody here present to speak? Tim?
Do you want me to, do I have the opportunity to speak now before we get on the?
Sure.
What's the first topic of the agenda?
Well, we got a few things to go through until we get to the Crumbling Foundation update. That's the first item on our old business. We have 4 things in our new business. And actually, I was gonna make a motion to add 2 other things. So it's in a little while.
Yeah, but this is your time
Yeah,
to
this is
speak,
your time to
so
speak.
you got something to say.
Well, I mean, I would like to say something. My name's Tim Hyman with the Connecticut Coalition Against Crumbling Basements. And I would like to, on behalf of the coalition, work with the town of Wellington on coming up with solutions to remove any permit fees tied into the crumbling basement issue going on in the town of Wellington. I did speak to Mayor Tom Delanicki about 10 minutes before I got here. And what the town of South Windsor did is they eliminated or suspended any permit fees related to having to remove and replace the basements of the homes affected with the bad concrete. And you know, I've heard from other towns that they didn't know how to handle the percentage of the fee that goes to the state of Connecticut. But as Mayor Delanicki said to me on my way in, is the state of Connecticut gets 0.26% of the fee. So if a town is suspending the fees at 0, the state of Connecticut gets 0. So this isn't a new construction permit. This is an existing home with, as you guys, everyone, you know, behind the table is well aware of the issue going on. That's going to have a high impact on the town of Wellington. So as a victim myself, if I come to the town of Wellington with an estimate of, say, $200,000, I think, you know, the town in the very least could waive that fee. Not going through the contractor, because, you know, as Christina and I had spoke before, it's kind of hard to gauge whether that's actually going to be taking off the bill for the permit fee. But as an individual victim, if I come with an estimate and say my estimate's $200,000 and I don't know what the permit fees are on that to get the work done, but then I could go to the contractor and say, okay, $200,000 minus $1,000 is $199,000. So I think in the very least, the towns could take a serious look at what they could do to suspend the fees on this problem and this problem only.
Okay.
And I don't know what the next step would be from you know, the first selectman and the selectman.
Well-
Where would this go to vote, or would you guys talk about it, or?
Yeah,
how do you-
we,
On our agenda.
yeah, it's on our agenda to talk about it.
Okay,
We're the ones who would vote on it.
oh, you would, okay,
yeah.
so I'm in the right place.
Yeah, building official fees fall under us.
Okay, oh, they do,
Setting the fees and
okay,
all that, yeah.
okay. Well, I'm
So-
glad you took your time to
But
listen.
I doubt we would do anything about it today, because we like to think about things.
And I understand,
Yeah.
and I'm just, if you guys could just vote yes, and then I'll, but I appreciate you guys taking your time to listen. And if you need, at the next meeting, more people to come in and discuss it, I could very well pack the house and listen to other victims.
Right.
Well, I would have a couple questions. What determines the fee, first of all? Is it a percentage of the cost of the,
It's,
Good job.
it's,
How much?
Of the
it's
job?
$10 per $1,000 of building costs.
okay, so it's determined.
And what I was told is that, at least in WIllington, this is how we do it, they look at they don't, if they say it's $200,000, and that's including taking away and then rebuilding decks, taking away and
Mhm.
rebuilding pools,
Soup to
rebuilding.
nuts.
Yeah, that's not the amount that they charge on. They only charge on the amount to actually put in new walls.
Okay.
Not even the demolition of the old walls.
Okay.
So, at least in WIllington, the amount that they would be reducing on is, it would make for a much lower fee than
Sure.
it would normally in another place. If you're building a brand new house and it's gonna cost $300,000, well, your fee is gonna be $3,000.
Okay.
But,
So if
But
it was
in this case-
100,000 to remove the walls, the basement floors and the footings, or 50,000, it would be.
it's only based on the cost to put in
Put
the
it back.
new.
Okay, okay.
Right,
I
and the
understand.
reason why is because our building official would have to go out to the property 2, 3, 4, maybe even up to 8 times, depending on how they're going about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a cost, because we pay him for that,
Mhm.
so there's that consideration too, but,
I got something back in my mind now, something that happened some years ago. Is there a fee for, a demolition fee if you're going to tear down a building on your property? If I remember correctly, you're supposed to get a permit to do that and pay a fee for that.
But that's, you're not really demolishing your house is just jacked up and the walls are being removed. It's
Well,
not-
yeah, but you're still taking something down. I'm just looking forward to, what questions we might hear
yeah.
if we go to
And,
do this.
you know, and I definitely would wanna get Jim, our building official, to come to talk to
Yeah.
you, because he knows the exact, you know, what they look at and how they do it, and how much work is involved in that, but.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Christina, because I don't know for sure, what exact fees would apply to a home to get jacked up and everything removed. I didn't even, that's the first I heard about a removal fee and there might be.
Demolition, it's a demolition fee.
Or a demolition
If you
fee.
If you
have
demo
to
the
have-
whole house,
You
though.
have to have a permit to do that, but that's not, I don't think it's kind of the same thing.
Well, you never know, because
You never
as
know.
the building, fee, or the building permits in this town cover everything
Mhm.
at one point or another. And then
So-
it comes up, in fact, one particular case, somebody had lived in 74 and knocked down a couple of old chicken coops he had. And somebody got mad at him, so they went after him. He had neglected to take out the demolition permit. I guess most people, I don't think anybody in town ever does it, but in that particular case.
Well, and
it
the
came
reason why a demolition permit is required is that it changes the assessment of the property, and it's a trigger to the assessment people upstairs that they need to go and reassess the property.
Mhm.
Because if you had a house there and now you do not, then there's.
Well, then we gotta get money out
Or
of
if
it
you had a
somehow.
business, like that did happen on the corner of Route 32, when they took down those
Yeah.
houses, they didn't have it didn't trigger it, so.
So would we be able to put this on the agenda for the next meeting?
Oh, yeah, oh,
Okay.
definitely, it's something we're gonna continue to talk about.
Thank you.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Barry Willett, 22 Richmond Lane. I didn't intend to speak on this, but I'm concerned about waiving fees. I don't know the details. I don't know if the insurance company's paying for it,
No,
but we have a staff here that's gonna be taxed. We have a short staff. You're gonna have them working twice as hard. You're gonna waive the fees,
Mhm.
and that same group of people are not paying, can possibly not pay taxes. So you're putting the burden from these people
Mhm.
to everyone else.
Yeah, That's the way it works.
No, in socialism, not in the United States.
But it does in the United States, because if you look at the catastrophe from Sandy down on the shoreline.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
federal government, so get the
But
federal government
Well,
involved,
hold on.
pay the fees.
But your insurance went up because of that, because we paid that. My insurance went up because of that. So I agree with you, and I'm with you. But, you know, let's put it to vote. Or
Yeah, I think you should
let's-
put the vote, I'm concerned
Absolutely.
about
Absolutely.
possible conflict if you're affected by this, voting on this. I'm concerned about it.
And you know, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning.
I know, I'm on the Board of Finance, we pay the bills,
It's coming.
I understand.
It's coming. It's a train. And if you think you're paying now, you wait
Yeah,
another
that's
10 years.
fine.
Well, everybody's victims, you keep using the word.
Everybody's a victim.
Okay,
That's right.
folks, this is a meeting, if you wanna, debate it, you can debate it later among yourselves, and we will be covering this in future meetings.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else want to talk about something else?
You're gonna continue this conversation later too, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay, moving on to correspondence. I don't have a, let's see. Maybe I saw it, but it's a long one. It's only because we haven't really had an official meeting for a long time.
Department of the Army over the Gatewell School Bridge.
Yes, the Army Corps of Engineers.
Wow. Didn't realize it was such a strategic asset to the nation.
Now, they need DOT, DEEP, I'm not even sure which one, wants them to weigh in on a lot of things now. So that's another step in the approval process. Even though our inland wetlands group already said it's okay, they need to say it's okay too. What we want to do, because we're crossing over, we're doing work over a river, so.
Yeah, otherwise,
All right, well, I'll go into the status report. Senior housing phase 3. If you all should take a drive over there, because they now have all the foundations poured, and you can see the structures going up on all 4 of the buildings. So one of them even has the roof on it and everything, you can see what they look like. So it's pretty excited. They're still targeting spring of 2017 for their completion, and the move-in will be happening next spring, that's the hope. The Old Town Hall electrical and restoration work, the town meeting is next week for the funding approval, and basically the day after that we can hire the contractors to get started. Turnpike Road, the road, they started out there today, actually. They put up all the silt fencing for the section of drainage that they're doing. The big, huge sign is up. I don't know if you drove up there and saw it.
No.
No, it's pretty awesome. It makes it clear to everybody traveling that there is indeed going to be road work done there. And we have it on the agenda for the town meeting next week to get approval to accept that last steep grant that will help pay for the paving part of the project. And Daleville School Bridge, we're still waiting for that permit from DEP, and then we gotta go out to bid. And Village Hill Drainage Engineering, Carl has been working on it, on the drainage engineering design. The holiday party 2016 is on here. Robin sent out a call to at least to the employees, I don't know about, and some board members?
Don Berg is the only one that's kind of.
Yeah, he's come forward to say he wants to, so they're trying to figure out what to do. I know one of the things that Don would like to do is to get some funding for the party. Normally what we do is we ask the employees and board members to each chip in either $10 or $15 to go to, and wherever we have it. And his, from what I understand, he'd like to the Board of Finance to see if he could get funding for that, so. I don't know, it's not something we've ever done, and I'm not sure.
Is there a particular reason why anything changed?
No. No, but, I mean, it's a hard gathering to plan without funding, because you have to ask people to come and chip in, and some people don't come for that reason, or they come and they have different, I don't know.
Or they pay and then they don't get to eat. That's his biggest concern.
Yeah. So,
Is that he's not
Right,
there.
if you get there late, you tend not to be able to eat.
yeah, so, we'll see. The River Road Athletic Complex Fitness Station, it is actually getting installed tomorrow.
They pushed it to Thursday.
Oh,
I think it's Thursday.
oh, okay, I heard it was
I
tomorrow.
overheard them talking.
Tomorrow's Wednesday, yeah, wait, it was Thursday. So that should go in, and Public Works is gonna be putting in mulch, to finish it off. The senior center septic re-permitting, we're working on that, getting the bid documents together for it.
Carl sent it. Did you see it?
No.
He sent it this morning.
Oh, good. MS4 compliance, there's actually, Cost is putting together a symposium on MS4 permit process in October, and Derek and I are gonna go. And in the meantime, I think CROG is putting together some bid, is gonna be going out to bid on behalf of all the member towns. So hopefully we will know a lot more about it in the next couple months of who out there is even available to help with that process. And the Public Works Environmental Configuration Engineering, which is really the salt shed and fuel island project. Carl's got the design stuff going, he's working on it. And the plan is to have a presentation here in the fall at some point, probably in October or November, most likely. So the animal control new pickup truck, we did finalize the lease and
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and close, but when is she getting it?
Probably like 3 or 4 more weeks, I think. 'Cause it took like 6 to 8 weeks to order.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And plan of conservation and development, Susan went out to bid, she's got the bids in, the committee looking at the bids is looking at it, coming up with a matrix and trying to figure out what the next step is, and how many of these companies need to be interviewed or not. And I think there's 5 of them, so there was a good response to it, and we have some good options. And it looks like it's, no matter which way you slice it, it's what it's within the range that the CIP committee had budgeted for, so that's all good news. And under Crumbling Foundations, the assessors, as far as I heard, have not come to an agreement amongst themselves and from the different towns as a unified way of looking at this. But they have until October 1st, and so they're making a push, and they put together a smaller task force to try to come up with something that everyone can be agreeable to. So I don't know.
Christine, have they scheduled a follow-up meeting?
I think that the task force, I think they decided instead of having everybody there, this group of 5 different assessors from some of the most.
Are we represented there? Is our assessor there?
No, I don't think she is.
Is she there on behalf of Ashford or other?
No, and she only works for 16 hours, some of the bigger towns have a staff. They have multiple people working in their assessment department, so I think South Windsor's one of them has, their assessor's a big leader in the.
I think Scotland is her other.
Scotland is ours are other, and they don't have the VSHO out there, so. But there's been a lot of talk and emails, and it's something she's, I think, thinking about and working on every single day, so she's plugged in. Yeah. So, hopefully, there'll be something there. Public Works, they have been busy. Here's what they're doing. Roadside mowing. They put up some aggregate down on the gravel roads and did some grading. They paved around the catch basin replacements. They paved the existing road to the brush pile and the parking space for the swap shack. They did traffic control for the tree company, raising the canopy on Village Hill and Schofield Road. They replaced rotted catch basin grates on St. Moritz, paved washouts along Fisher Hill and Spack, installed an apron on Mason Road and Daleville School Road to alleviate Mason Road corrosion issues. They did vehicle and equipment repairs, installed the message board on Turnpike Road, mowed Public Works and the dog pond and the transfer station. They weeded the flower beds at the town office building, filled the new water main at Button Hill and flushed the water main for a bacteria sample the following day. They cut roadside brush on Mason Road, did sign repair and replacement, and cut existing door and installed a shelf for the half door for the tax collector's office. Have you seen that? Oh, tax collector was very happy with it. They mowed senior housing, septic, the pump house, and the detention basin over there, which is a bigger job than it sounds like. So they've done a lot of stuff. So okay, so under new business, and before we get there, I'm gonna make a motion to add two items. One would be item E, which is,
Can you give her that top?
what's item E?
Appointment of a hearing officer.
Oh, an appointment of a hearing officer for a contested towing hearing. And then item F, our superintendent's notice of retirement.
One hearing officer for what?
Contested tow,
Okay.
yep.
Isn't that your job?
No,
Oh,
in fact, it isn't.
darn it.
I'll explain.
Spent many hours on that, Kim.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so item, oh, did somebody second me?
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so A is the performance contract guarantee of savings agreement. So, as you may recall, 3 years ago, Siemens came in and we did the whole performance contracting thing. And one of the good things about it is that they guarantee a savings. And if they do not fulfill that and we do not see a savings, then they would owe us money. And part of that, though, is that we have to pay the fee every year to keep keep that service agreement going. And we knew that going in, but now we've been through it once. We went through one whole year. They came in, they did the testing to make sure that we got the savings we did, and we saw substantial savings. And now we're back in the second year, where again we're seeing savings, but they're sending us a bill for it. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure you guys are okay with that.
What is the fee for?
It's the I'm trying to think of the right word for it. It's to guarantee the deal. And what they told us from the beginning is that a lot of towns will do it for 1 or 2, maybe 3 years, and then they keep seeing savings, and they're like, well, we don't need you to come in and tell us that we're saving money anymore.
So we have to pay them to come in to tell us that we're saving money?
Right, but if we don't pay them, then we can't make a claim that we didn't save any money. So it's their insurance to themselves that if we don't, 10 years from now, someone could say, I don't think that this worked. I don't think that we're saving any money for whatever claim that they come up with. And they want to be able to say, well, no, we've been there every single year, and we've looked at it, we've been able to prove to you that we did.
Do we track our utilities?
Yeah, we do.
We do it ourselves?
Yep.
And we are saving money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're saving on electricity kilowatt hours and on gallons of fuel purchased per building, and we can see it, we can see the trend. So we know that,
What do they charge us for?
Do
it's
we-
$4,000 a year. So it's a lot, and,
$4,000, what now?
A year, for the year, for the
for them
guarantee.
to keep the guarantee alive,
Right.
it's $4,000.
Now, do we have a counterbalance showing how much we saved over that period?
Yes.
You know, you
Oh,
can
it
piece
was
of
only
paper and say, okay, we paid them
4,000.
$4,000.
Yeah, no,
paying
it was
them
like
for that.
20,000, I think last year's report showed 30,000, something like that. It was a lot between.
If we had a list like that,
Mhm.
you might
But-
not have so many questions about spending the 4,000.
Well, right, but, yes,
When you're paying that $4,000, is that an insurance policy against defect in
no,
the
no, we're
wagons or
covered,
anything
we're
that-
covered for that, we can call them, each item that's been put into the building has its own warranty that goes along with it.
Oh,
So
okay.
some are 2 years, some are 3 years,
Okay.
some might be 10 for
Yeah.
some of the bigger things.
Yeah.
So each of those components is its own thing. This is really the savings guarantee,
Okay.
and, you know,
That's terrible that we have to pay them to.
I know.
For savings. It's not right there,
well, they need to send people to come and make sure,
but, and we need
So-
to pay those people to come and make sure.
yeah. But like they told us from the beginning, you probably aren't gonna wanna do this for more than 2 or 3 years, because everyone goes, yeah, why? We already know. Why would we do that?
And we've only done it 1 year so far.
Right. So,
And do you think we should do another year?
Christina?
So what's the question?
Over the years, if they see that your savings is going down, do they come back and suggest adjustments to their systems or the building in order to, you know, so if you're paying for them to consult, you know, that has some merit. But if it's just a payment thing and say 6 years down the road, it starts tailing off, so you're saving 10 grand only. Do they come in and act as consultants and suggest things that should be
well,
done
at
again?
that point, like if it got to the point where we weren't saving money anymore,
Mhm.
then they would owe us money. That's part of their guarantee, so they would actually pay us. And so before they pay us, I'm sure that they would like to give us a lot of suggestions. But they also are gonna factor in like how we're using our buildings, are we doing something differently? You know, do we suddenly have, more people working in one area and they're using more equipment? They're gonna wanna look at things like that too. And we need to be aware of that as well when we make changes to things, but,
But that's 10 years down the road at $4,000 a year.
Oh, yeah. I know we're not supposed to talk about it, I just want to add one thing. There isn't really any savings because what was saved was used to buy new things.
Right.
So